Okay, so you'll be glad to hear that we're back, but only for 5 minutes, no more, I promise. So this is a sponsored effort, so I'm totally going to hijack it and say, the demo did work, I promise you. It was there, it finished. It was like 30 seconds afterwards. That's all it was. Thank you, there we go, there we go, there we go. All right, okay, so now we only have 4.5 minutes. Sorry, James. Okay, 2 years on. Okay, so 2 years ago, right? Just under 2 years ago, we started committing to creating this open source project, Jenkins X. It's been a wild 2 years. It's pretty amazing, and also just looking at all the people that have been involved in the Jenkins X community that's come around this, it's been quite phenomenal just looking back at those 2 years.
Let me just check your slides now. Here's a slide that we're showing, releases. Have you seen how many releases? 5,500 releases. So we've done quite a few releases. The challenge of going continuous means you end up doing lots and lots of releases. And that's just the releases of the JX binary itself. There's actually about 1,000 Git repositories all linked together that do different things, whether it's build packs, builder images, pipelines, charts. So really, we've done way more than 5,000 releases. We've done lots and lots of releases. But that's been fun. We've learned to release often. Yeah.
Go for it. See, we're being quick. This is good. Okay. Okay, so where we started, this has been our journey. We started out with Jenkins X. We wanted to, with the backing of CloudBees, it was truly amazing that we can actually look at how we need to look going to the future about, so much has changed, whether that's microservices, different programming languages, different ways, different architectures of event-driven architectures, so many different things. The cloud is a thing. So we want to look at how we can start evolving and start embracing these new technologies and new ways of working and new feature functionality as well. So we looked at providing that automated CI/CD that James was talking about earlier with a static Jenkins server. We looked at maybe spinning one shot, static Jenkins, just for the duration of the pipeline. And then when Tecton CD came along, Tecton pipelines came along, we embraced that completely, using a cloud-native way to be able to orchestrate, or define and orchestrate our pipelines and run them. It's been truly quite an amazing journey for us. There's been lots more. We're looking at building a lot more developer tooling around this, and this is where this more recent efforts have been around.
There was Knative Build in there as well, which was a journey.
Yeah.
We went down Knative Build, then Tecton came along, and we went with Tecton. Speaking of things, so this is a lighthouse icon. So we're constantly trying to improve Jenkins X and adopt good open source projects out there that help solve developer UX issues. One of the tools we started to use about 1.5 years ago is something called Prow, which is part of the Kubernetes test infra project. We love Prow, it's awesome. Prow adds the chat ops capabilities, so the /approve on a pull request, or you can look good to me, or you can retest, you can re-trigger pipelines via comments on a pull request. So we love chat ops, we think it's awesome. One of the downsides with Prow, though, is it's github.com only, so you can't use any other Git provider with Prow. So we created an open source project called Lighthouse, which is essentially a chunk of the Prow code base, but it's been slightly refactored so that we've taken out all of the github.com specific code, and we've used a library called GoSCM, which came out of the drone folks, made something called GoSCM. And we took GoSCM, which is an interface above Git providers, so it supports github.com, GitHub Enterprise, Bitbucket Server, Bitbucket Cloud, GitLab, Gogs, Gitia. Did I say GitLab? I can't remember. Anyways, so it basically supports all the popular Git providers behind a single, simple-ish API for creating repositories, creating pull requests, creating issues, and all that kind of stuff. So we basically created Lighthouse by taking the Prow code, well, the bits of the Prow code we needed, refactoring it to use GoSCM, and we now have Lighthouse, which is conceptually like Prow, but it works with pretty much all Git providers, which is awesome. If you are using github.com right now, we do recommend staying with Prow for a while, because we know we've tested the crap out of it and it's really solid. If you're not using github.com, then you have to use Lighthouse because there is no other option. So Lighthouse is really cool, and I'm almost out of time.
Okay, so what's next? It's developers, developers, developers. This is the whole ethos around the Jenkins X, is helping developers move to the cloud, enabling and empowering them to be able to have faster feedback and helping this journey that we're all going through together move into the cloud. So the things we showed earlier on were very kind of opsy or very infrastructure related things, but that's what we see that we need to be able to do to enable developers. So we're going to be looking at how we can improve the developer experience and help developers go faster.
Disaster recovery, this is an interesting one. So we're becoming experts at deleting Kubernetes clusters by accident. It seems to happen pretty often now, which is good because it's helping us improve how to restore clusters when they get deleted. It's surprisingly easy to delete things in the cloud. Who'd have thought? Because like there's a delete button, and well, actually a common problem in general with Kubernetes is it's so easy. We were talking about this over lunch. You can be in, you think you're on your own local cluster, but you just did a kubectl command to talk to production, and you forgot. And then you start deploying random stuff, and you suddenly realize, oh my God, I just deleted everything in production because I was in the wrong cluster. So it's surprising. One of Kubernetes' biggest issues is it's so easy to be in the wrong cluster. It's just a thing. When you use kubectl and you change context in kubectl, it globally changes every terminal. So all of a sudden, globally, all of your terminals are now pointing at production. So you have to be kind of careful with kubectl. So we've managed to delete clusters very often. So the good thing is it's helped us really improve Jenkins X so that we can easily make it easy to recover. That if you do delete production, you can restore it really, really quickly. A few things we've learned by making things easier to recover, disaster recovery-wise, is try use storage buckets rather than persistent volumes, because they're much easier to restore and back up. It's very easy to back up buckets into other projects. So buckets seem to be easier to work with than persistent volumes, which we tended to use all the time. And be really, really careful with Vault. Vault's kind of a thing. Just be really careful with it, because if you can't restore that, you're pretty much screwed. Over to you.
Oh, I think we're going to skip it. We're quick.
I'll do this one. And then also, CloudBees have made a nice UI for Jenkins X, which is really, really lovely. If you're using Jenkins X at all, please install the UI. It's lovely and really useful.
And just a massive thank you to everybody here, everybody that's been involved with Jenkins X journey so far, and anybody that's even thinking about joining us as well. So I think it's a tremendous thing with the CDF, so thank you.
And Tecton. Tecton is awesome. Jenkins is awesome. Spinnaker is awesome. So everything in the CDF Foundation is awesome. We love you all. So thank you very much.